So this totally tip is about pitching and importantly about controlling the distance on those awkward shots between 30 and 70 yards. It's not a chip shot, but it's not a full swing either. How are we going to get a consistent flight to try and get a consistent carry number? So when I'm working with players on this, what I'll tend to have is 4 tabs running. I'll have the carry number because that's our target, that's really important, okay? But the other 3 are variables: club speed, dynamic loft, and launch angle. Now, what we're going to try and do there is make only 1 variable and 2 of them more constant. So I look with players to try and keep their delivery very similar and then just vary the club head speed. So I want to try and keep my dynamic loft the same. I want to deliver the club the same. Get a similar strike, so the launch angle is going to be very similar as well. Because then if the ball's taking off with the same impact and the same launch, and the only variable is club head speed, we're going to get a very consistent flight, which will mean we can hit our numbers much easier, okay? So I've got a 54-degree wedge here. Now, what I'd look to do is I'd look to be taking off 10 to 12 degrees of loft, okay? So I'm looking for that dynamic loft number to be roughly around 42 degrees. Then from there, if I get a nice strike and the friction drags the launch angle down, I'm looking for that to be anywhere between 26 to 29 degrees, all right? So let's get a 30-yard shot first. So let's try and get in a feel what 30 yards feels like. Okay, 33.2. Flight scope missed the beat there. Okay, give him a second chance. Okay, so here we go, 32.4 carry. So importantly, dynamic loft was 41 and launch angle was 27. Okay, so let's now take it up to 50 yards. Slightly wider in my stance, but importantly, my tempo and my feeling for the shot stays the same. I'm just going to make a slightly longer swing. 49.5, but again, dynamic loft, 43 degrees. Launch angle, 26 degrees. Both in my window, okay? Now again, if we take this up to 70 yards, slightly wider stance again to cope for a slightly longer swing. Tempo and feel of the strike and delivery stay the same. 67.9. Again, dynamic loft 43, launch angle 26.7. So you'll see those 3 shots there all took off with very, very similar delivery, very similar dynamic loft, very similar launch angle. And the only variable there for me was that I made slightly different length of swings. The tempo felt the same, the delivery, the strike felt the same, okay? But we've gone from that 30 to 70-yard range. So when you're on the practice ground or at the driving range, you get the screens up, start to look at your launch angle, start to look at your carry, okay? And get a feel for keeping the delivery that you deliver the club to the golf ball, so your loft, the same. Look for the same launch window and try and make the only variable club head speed. And then from there, you'll be able to really dial in how far your wedge is going to be pitching. Hope that helps.